insights, picks, results. This is Wizard Sports Picks. Beyond the Lines.
Welcome to another edition of Beyond the Lines, presented by Wizard Sports Picks. Sunday, December 28th, Ian Cameron with you, and it is time to talk NFL Week 18. We will be breaking down three of the games taking place on Week 17 on Sunday in NFL action. Before we get to that, we want to remind you, check out wizardsportspicks.com and all the great handicappers on the website. It is a terrific roster, top to bottom. So many great handicappers and in great form at the moment. One of those people is yours truly. That's right. It's been a great run for me on the website in all sports. We entered Saturday on a very strong all sports run at Wizard Sports Picks. And right now, profitable NHL season in hockey, profitable NBA season, profitable college basketball season. But there is no sport that has been better for me at wizardsportspicks.com since the website opened than the National Football League. And the NFL has been absolutely tremendous. It's been an unreal season of profits. Number one on the website in the NFL at wizardsportspicks.com. We enter the weekend on a 116 and 89, 57%, 1880 profit all sports streak. That's over the last 30 days at wizardsportspicks.com. And in the NFL this season, this is the full season in the National Football League for me. I am currently at not only number one at the website, but 58 and 37, 61%, 16-12 profit. So for the entire NFL season, 58 and 37, 61%, all documented, $1,612 of profit. Outstanding results. It is very difficult to hit 60% in the NFL for a full season. Believe me, I know, because I've struggled to do it before in the past. But it's been a phenomenal season. We've seen the board well. We've had good reads. We've made good final choices and decisions what to make a premium pick on the website in the NFL. And it's led to one of the better NFL seasons I've ever had. So get on board. I'll have a full slate of NFL premium picks for Week 17 on the website. Check it out. And not just me, but check out all the other great web handicappers over at wizardsportspicks.com. All right, let's get into the three games that we will preview here in this edition of the Beyond the Lines. I almost forgot the name of the show for a minute. Arizona and Cincinnati. Cincinnati 7-point favorites, 53 the total. You probably know where I'm going here in this game, and that's right to the total. It's a high total. I still like the over with Arizona and Cincinnati. Cincinnati scored 45 points last week against the Miami Dolphins. They have the very real potential to match or even exceed that here against Arizona. Arizona's defense has not only been awful for the better part of the last several weeks, but they have shown signs of quit in multiple games, where when the game gets away from them, it gets worse, and the points for the opposition just seem to keep piling up. You look at Arizona, 26 points allowed to Kirk Cousins and the Falcons last week, 40 points given up to Houston, 45 to the Rams, 41 to San Francisco, 44 to Seattle, 27 to Jacksonville. Really the only decent defensive effort they've had, and I say decent, was Tampa Bay when they lost 20-17, and Baker Mayfield was not even close to 100% in that game. And they were still missing Mike Evans and a few of their receivers. So that's not even all that impressive. I mean, Arizona's just got a really bad defense right now. And Cincinnati, with Joe Burrow determined to play out the string and play every remaining game for the rest of the regular season, even though Cincinnati's been eliminated, he wants to finish strong. And boy, did he play well last week against Miami. He's facing another bottom-tier defense here, and I expect the Bengals to put up their share of points. But Arizona might contribute to the scoring, too. This is certainly not a shut-down Cincinnati defense, which, by the way, has still given up at least 21 points, by the way, in 9 of their last 10 games. So this team is still having issues on that side of the football. And Jacoby Brissett, the one thing he will do, they have no run game, Arizona. They cannot run the football. But Jacoby Brissett's been throwing the ball downfield. He's been finding McBride. He's been finding, Michael Wilson, who's someone who's really stepped up at wide receiver for them in recent games. And it looks like Marvin Harrison Jr., who's been out for a stretch of time due to injury, is coming back and is actually going to play for Arizona. So there's another weapon that Jacoby Brissett will have to work with here in this game. So weather doesn't look too bad for late December in Cincinnati. It's a high total, but I could see this getting into the high 50s, something along the lines of 42 to 21 in this game would not shock me. I still like over this total. Give me Arizona, Cincinnati, over 53. That'll be my first pick on this edition of Beyond the Lines. Let's move on to a big NFC battle. Two teams that need victories in their respective races. We've got Seattle taking on Carolina. Seattle, 7.5 point road favorites in a few locations. 42.5 the total in this game. Seattle and Carolina off massive division wins last week. Carolina, a huge victory against Tampa Bay, the team they are in direct competition with for first place in the NFC South and that playoff spot that's available to the division winner. Bryce Young played a very solid game in victory last week against Tampa Bay, and the defense was opportunistic. They came up with the stops when they needed it in order to secure victory against the Bucs last week. When you look at that box score, like I said, Bryce Young played a very effective game, mistake-free, and then the defense got after Baker Mayfield, forced an interception, really did a nice job actually against the run on Bucky Irving as well. And then, like I said, a couple of big sacks as well from Carolina in that game. They got big sacks to really get after Mayfield, force the interception at the end to seal the victory. And now Carolina will look to build on that here against Seattle in a point spread role that's actually been very good to Carolina. Now for Seattle, an incredible comeback win against the LA Rams last Thursday night, but now going on the road, and they've actually been a good road team under Mike Macdonald, the current head coach. But now they're being asked to not only win, but win by a sizable margin against a Carolina team that's been pretty good on their home field, 5-2 straight up this season. And in particular, they've been very good in this home underdog role, the Carolina Panthers. You go back and look at the season results to this point, and you'll find that as a home underdog, this Carolina Panthers team this year, they've been very good in this role. In fact, they are as I'm counting it up right now, they are 4-1 against the spread as a home underdog this season. They won outright as a home dog against Atlanta, week 3. They won outright as a home dog week 6 against Dallas. They ended up winning outright as a home underdog in week 13 against the LA Rams, the team that Seattle's battling with in the NFC West. They won outright as a dog against Tampa Bay last week. The only time they didn't cover as a home dog this year was against Buffalo in week 8, and they got drilled 40-9. But throw that one out. Buffalo was off a bye week and a loss against Atlanta before the bye week, and Andy Dalton was the quarterback, and he stunk in the game. I remember. I watched it. He was terrible. He was awful. He was brutal. So throw that out. Bryce Young didn't even play in that game against Buffalo. You throw that out, they're actually 4-0 against the spread as a home dog this season. If you include that Buffalo result and you go back to the midway mark of last season, Carolina is actually on an 8-1 ATS run as a home underdog. To me, this is just too many points. And when you look at this Seattle team, the left tackle, Charles Cross, his status is up in the air. That's a big deal. He protects the blind side for Sam Darnold. That's a big concern. The defense wasn't great last week against the Rams. And Sam Darnold has been good in moments, good in spurts, and he's been really bad in spurts. Like, this has been a very inconsistent Sam Darnold in recent weeks. He had a great start to the year. I'm not convinced he's playing his most consistent and his best football right now here as we enter week 17. And I think Carolina's got the goods to at least make this game competitive. So give me the Carolina Panthers here, plus 7.5 against the Seattle Seahawks. We will ride that 8-1 ATS mark for the Carolina Panthers in their last 9 in the home underdog role. All right, let's move on to the last game here on this edition of Beyond the Lines, and we will talk New Orleans and Tennessee. We gave you a game here with two teams battling for playoff positioning and battling in the case of Carolina to get in the playoffs. So we gave you a good game to talk about, but This one, not so much. But if there's a good betting opportunity, it's okay to talk about any game on Beyond the Lines. And I think we do have a good betting opportunity here with the Saints and the Titans. We've got New Orleans, 1.5, 2-point road favorites, 39.5 the total here in this game. Again, when you're talking about any outdoor environment at this time of year, you have to check the weather. And it looks like for Nashville, Tennessee on Sunday, we're looking at no rain, the wind in the 16-mile-per-hour range, but not terrible with the wind conditions. This total at 39.5 looks a little bit low to me, and I'll explain why. I think the New Orleans offense is improving. We're seeing this offense get more comfortable, more, dynamic. Taysom Hill returning from injury has given, Kellen Moore another weapon, another toy to work with, especially in the red zone, and integrating him with Tyler Shuck, the starting quarterback in this offense. It's starting to pay some dividends. And when you look at what we've seen from the Saints under Tyler Shuck, we've seen his passing yardage numbers just consistently get better. We've seen the run game consistently get better. And we're starting to see some of these receivers, make plays down the field in the passing game for Tyler Shuck. Having a healthy Chris Olave back on the field matters. How about last week? 10 receptions for Olave, 148 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. He was phenomenal. Juwan Johnson's made some plays down the field. Like I said, they're even using Taysom Hill, too, as a receiver at times. So this is all of a sudden an offense that's having some fun, that's starting to produce, starting to move the football, and starting to put up points. While any offense is capable, in my opinion, of moving the football and putting up points against this Tennessee defense. Yes, they only allowed 9 points last week against Kansas City in that 26-9 win for the Titans over the Chiefs. But the Chiefs were in a horrible spot. They had just got knocked out of the playoffs. I don't think they gave a hoot about that football game. They were a mess on offense. Gardner Minshew started the game. He got injured, couldn't even finish the game, and Chris Oladokun had to come in and finish that game, and it just got away from Kansas City. I think Tennessee's defense, which let's not forget, they gave up 29 to Cleveland, 37 to San Francisco, 25 to Jacksonville, 30 to Seattle before that. This is still a defense that's bottom 5 in the National Football League. I think the Saints will have some offensive success here in this game. I think Tennessee will have some offensive success, though. You look at Cam Ward, he's throwing the ball better. This Tennessee offense, the last 3 weeks, they beat Cleveland, put 31 on the board. They go to San Francisco, a good Niners team, and every time the Niners scored, the Titans answered, and would put points on the board. 24 points on the road against the Niners. Very solid performance. And then, of course, 26 points last week against Kansas City. So this is another offense, just like I talked about with New Orleans, getting better, becoming more productive. Cam Ward getting more comfortable. He's also more comfortable because finally they're having some success running the football, which they haven't been able to do much of the season. But suddenly Tony Pollard's having success running the ball. Tajay Spears, the backup running back, has been involved too, also having some success on the ground. So suddenly this Tennessee offense is finding success. It's not like they're facing a world beater New Orleans Saints defense here. I know the Saints shut down the Jets last week, but that's not saying much. The Saints are going to be probably up against it a lot more here in this game. So on their home field, I think we're going to see Tennessee move the ball as well. And we're not asking for a massive shootout here. This total is 39.5. It's doable. I think both of these teams can score enough points to get this game into the 40s. I will go with New Orleans, Tennessee over 39.5. That'll be my third and final pick for this edition of Beyond the Lines. All right, that is a wrap. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it very much. Make sure you check out wizardsportspicks.com and all the great handicappers on the website. I'll have a big Sunday NFL card. Again, 58 and 37, 61%, $1,612 profit. NFL season year to date for me, Ian Cameron. So get on board with some Sunday NFL premium picks at wizardsportspicks.com. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button on the way out. Enjoy the games and good luck. I'm Ian Cameron. Thanks for watching the Sunday, December 28th edition of Beyond the Lines, presented by Wizard Sports Picks.